Hello everybody. Today I will be reviewing trades from April 15th. I completed 15 trades in total on that day, and I will be looking at 4 of those trades, which include Netflix, Amazon, Tesla, and Boeing. I'm reviewing these trades in particular because they were my most profitable, and I think that they demonstrate my trading technique uh, most accurately compared to all of my other trades. Um, I had a really good day overall. As you can see, I made some really nice steps throughout the day. I didn't have one losing trade, which was really nice. Out of all the 15 trades that I had, I didn't have one loser, so that was really nice to see. I had uh, been going through kind of a up and down stretch for over a week now where I would hit a snag with at least one or two trades and it would set me back a little bit. But today I rebounded nicely and just consistently had winners all day. Um, and I think that my timing was just on target with when I executed my trades. I had a lot of little trades, profits of like $50 here, $80 here, and they just slowly, as you can see, they just added up over time. And then there were some nice larger profits of $200 or more. So end of day, I ended with $2,079, um, which was great, more than I had expected, and so it was just a really good day overall. So let's start today's review with Netflix. So as you may know, for those who have followed me so far with Netflix, when I enter a position, or I should say before I enter a position, I'm looking for at least a 1.25% change before I initiate a trade. So, in this one in particular, I actually took advantage right near open. It opened up at $413, and within a few minutes, it jumped up to around $424, which was a pretty good move of about 1.6%. So as you can see, and this chart on here on Robinhood, it doesn't quite accurately show the top price within that 5 increment range. It did cap out around $424 within that 5 minute increment for between 9:30 and 9:35. Um, and so because it had jumped up by 1.6% between 9:30 and 9:35, I decided to take a position because it did meet that percentage threshold that I'm looking for. So at 9:32, only 2 minutes after the market opened, which is a pretty quick for me to start a trade because I usually wait maybe a couple more minutes to see, if it starts to develop additional legs. But for this one, it jumped up so quickly that it just seemed like a good opportunity to initiate a trade at that time. So at 9:32, I purchased 5 put contracts. So right around there, I purchased it. Again, it was near the top. I purchased 5 put contracts at a price of $7.90 each, with a strike of $420 and an expiration of April 17th. And the stock price when I purchased was at 423. And again, it doesn't show that on this chart, but it did jump up to that amount, and that's when I purchased. At 9:33, which was only a minute later, perhaps less, I sold these contracts at a price of $8.30 each for a total profit of $200, and the stock price when I sold was around 421. So from the time I bought and sold, the stock price changed by $2. which resulted in that $200 profit. And I traded Netflix, I think, one other time on April 15th, and I'll just show you the order that I did. So here is that order, the first one I did for that day, which made the $200. You can see that I spent $3,950, and then I sold for $4,150 for that $200 profit. And then later in the day, I did buy again. It looks like I made $80 on that one, so that was a little bit smaller. But what I was really hoping to get in on, which I missed, was around this 1020 mark. I had put in an order and it jumped up really nicely. I had my order in, but it just didn't execute. Like it got really close. I set my limit order too low, and so it just didn't quite get there, which was unfortunate because it did drop a nice amount as soon as it peaked. This chart doesn't quite show that dip because it was so sudden and then it quickly shot back up. But if I had executed that order, it would have been a really nice profit, and I missed out on that. But sometimes that happens, you don't get every trade that you want, but that's just part of trading. So I came away with that $200 profit, and I was really happy about that one. Next, we will move on to Amazon. So with Amazon, I'm looking for at least a 0.75, 3/4 of a percentage change before I execute a trade. And between 10 and 1010, so we have, let's see here. So from here, from 10 to 1005 to 1010, it did jump up a pretty good amount, about 0.90%. And so it did go up past that percentage threshold that I was looking for. So given that it did jump up, I did go ahead and buy because it had made that move up that I was looking for. So at 10:06, right around between this 5-minute increment here, I bought 2 put contracts at a price of $32.70 with a strike of $2,270 and an expiration of April 17th. The stock price when I purchased was $2,278. So again, it was right in between this 5-minute increment here. At 10:08, which was 2 minutes later, I sold these contracts at a price of $33.80 for a total profit of $220. The stock price when I sold was around $2,275, and so the price difference from when I bought and sold was $3 in the stock price, resulting in that profit. So again, I wish that this chart on here could more accurately demonstrate in real time what I was seeing when I bought and sold. But when I bought, it had reached a peak and then it dipped down just ever so slightly, but then it continued upward, as you can see, much, much higher after I had sold. And then it dipped back down and then went back up, and I should have bought there, actually. But I think I missed out on that trade too. So, as we can see, the trade orders here, I had traded Amazon quite a few times yesterday, actually. And this one that I'm referring to right now is at the bottom here, where I had spent $6,540 and then I sold for $6,760, resulting in that $220 profit. And then I had bought Amazon a few other times during the day, and each of these trades was profitable. So it was a really good day trading Amazon. Okay. So next, we will look at Tesla. I'm always trading Tesla. Every day I feel like I'm trading Tesla. I just can't help myself. It just has too many good opportunities. But although lately I have been a bit more cautious because it has been running up a lot, so it's a little bit more volatile than usual, but it does still present some very good opportunities. So with Tesla, I'm looking for that 1.25% change before I execute a trade. And like I was saying, similar to yesterday on April 14th, um, I was cautious on this play heading in because, again, it's been very volatile. It's continued to be pumped by analysts, and you just didn't know if there was going to be a short squeeze. But in this environment, it was hard to expect that to happen. But with Tesla, you you don't know what to expect. It's a very wild stock. It can be. But for this trade in particular, we'll be looking at this dip that occurred from 1040 to 1050. Whoops. Actually, I think I meant to say, yeah, 1140 to 1150. Sorry. So as you can see, from 1140 to around 1150, looks like it actually peaked around 1145. It had a nice little dip there of about 1.5%. And again, because I'm looking for only a 1.25 percentage change, it had met that percentage threshold that I'm looking for, and then I went ahead and executed the trade. So at 11:49, I purchased 2 call contracts at a price of $33.50 with a strike of $750 and an expiration of April 24th. The stock price when I purchased was around $712. So as you can see, I purchased right near the bottom of when it had that dip. And then at 11:50, which was only 1 minute later, I sold these contracts at a price of $34.50 for a total profit of $200. And the stock price when I sold was $714. And I wish I would have held on maybe a little bit longer because, of course, it kept on going and I would have made a lot more money. But my strategy doesn't work that way. As soon as I make a profit, I get out because you just never know if it's going to continue going down. It could have kept going down. I could have got trapped, and then I could have lost a lot of money. So I don't hold on for very long. I just wait for that profit to occur, and as soon as it does, then I get out of there. Especially with Tesla, it moves so wildly sometimes. You just never know how it's going to be, and the implied volatility can be a little chaotic as well with the option pricing. So I just don't chance it. So once a profit is made, I get out. So this one turned out to be a good trade. Made that $200. And kind of similar to Netflix, actually, from earlier in the day, I missed out on this big dip here. And I had my order set, and it just did not execute because I had my order limit too low. And that would have been a really nice trade because, as you can see, it did jump up. And then it's continued to go up a little bit more. But this big dip followed by a nice little jump there, that would have been enough to have a pretty decent profit. And I missed out on that opportunity as well. So, those things happen, and you just move on and wait for another opportunity to come. And then let's see here. I'll look at the order so that you can see. And there it is. So I spent $7,560 Sold for 7,640. That was actually a trade from earlier. The trade we just looked at was when I bought for 6,700 and then sold for 6,900. So again, I traded Tesla twice, and they were both profitable. So that was a good day with Tesla. And finally, we'll be looking at Boeing. And Boeing was kind of making some steps all day. You know, it was gradually building momentum and kind of had an ABC sort of breakout there around 150, where it just popped suddenly and kept going and going and going and going. And that's not too uncommon for Boeing. Sometimes when it starts to gain momentum like that, it just doesn't stop. It just goes, 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 goes. And you'll see that happen with not just Boeing, but any stock that is gradually gaining momentum and building those stair steps, that you'll eventually see some kind of a mini breakout there. And so with Boeing, though, before I enter a position, if I do, because it can be pretty volatile, I want to see at least a 1.5% change within that 5-minute increment. And so between 150 and 2 o'clock, when it made its first initial jump, it did make a pretty good jump there of about 1.7% between 150 and 2. And so right at 2 o'clock, right near the top there, I did purchase 10 put contracts at a price of $4.60 each, with a strike of 141 and an expiration of April 17th. And then, as you can see, it dipped just briefly, and at 2:01, about a minute or later or less, I sold these contracts at a price of $4.80 for a total profit of $200. The stock price when I sold was closer to 140. This doesn't show that on here, but it did dip down to around 140 or so. And then we'll look at the order. And so that was the order near the bottom there. I spent 4,840 and then sold for 5,040 for that profit of 200. And then I ended up trading Boeing actually a couple more times, and I made $200 again later in the day, and then I made another $100 after that. So I traded Boeing in a total of for a total of 3 times, and made actually $500 in total with them today. So turned out to be a really good day, all in all. And so those were the 4 stocks that I wanted to review today. And as you can see, the Robinhood app is not working. Oh, there we go. it does that sometimes. So total profit again was 2,079. Total earned year to date is 73,686. And this was one of my better days today. I had some nice stair steps. It was just clean day of trading, and I wish every day was like that. I actually contribute a lot of this today to staying away from a couple of stocks that I have been looking at recently, such as Shop. Shop has really flustered me over the past week or so with the way that the options trade. And so I told myself, just stay away from it and get back to basics, stick with the stocks that, you know, are tried and true. And that's what I did. And this was the result. So I need to just continue doing that, stick to what I know, stick to the stocks that I have had really good success with, that I have sound that has sound patterns that are consistent pretty much every day. And based on these consistent patterns that I see, it results in these profits. Um, so, so yeah, it was a good day. But that's all I got, everybody. Again, as always, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, you can always leave a comment. You can always email me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again, and have a great day.